In this week's episode, we uncover the chilling reality of unsuspecting souls who brought home items harboring more than meets the eye, transforming their lives into waking nightmares. Imagine, if you will, acquiring an innocuous mannequin, a seemingly delightful gift, or a prized car only to find yourself ensnared in a web of malevolent forces, shifting your life into complete chaos. Strange odors, terrifying dreams, and relentless misfortune become the new reality for those who dare to possess these haunted items. What sinister energies lie dormant within these everyday objects, waiting to unleash chaos upon the unsuspecting? Are these tales of haunted acquisitions nothing more than mere coincidence and the work of overactive imaginations? Or is there something far more malevolent at play? We'll see you on the inside. I find it really weird. I feel like we're like the driest show on YouTube. Like the absolute driest show. Because I will watch stuff and I'll be like, what's the difference between what they're doing and what we're doing? Then I'll watch one of ours. I'm like, oh, it's the energy level is at about negative 15 most of the time.
I thought it was we were funny and they're not.
Well, we are, but there's like a, there's like a host energy that you need where you're like, hey, everyone, welcome back. Like, and this guy? No, not this guy. I have just woke up from eternal slumber.
Have you, though? Or is this all a dream?
Oh, no. It's happening again. No, it was just something weird I noticed. I'm like, wow, we have a very, very niche audience where...
I thought it was niche.
I've heard it both ways. It's fine. Welcome back to Sleep with the Lights On. Let's address the elephant in the room. Obviously, I bought new glasses, and I was like, oh, purple lenses. These are going to be dope because one of the colors of this show is purple, and they are very dark, turns out. I bought yellow, as you saw in the last one, and these ones, I put them on. I'm like, these feel like sunglasses. And so, no, I don't think I'm better than you, and no, I don't think I'm cooler than you, even though, let's be honest, probably a little bit. They're just really dark lenses.
I thought you were just out partying all night.
Oh, yeah, you know me. Folks, as you heard in the monologue, today we are discussing haunted items. And if that tickles your fancy, subscribe. And if actually, before we even get into this, do you have anything that is haunted? Have you ever bought something, willy-nilly at a thrift shop, a garage sale, or stole something that turned out to be haunted?
That's karma.
That last one is definitely karma. But we've all had our day with stealing before. You've stolen stuff before, right? Everyone steals at some point.
My name is Christian. It's not allowed.
Wow. I remember stealing Disney stickers from Kmart in Tehachapi when I was like 8 years old. And when my mom found out, I had like a whole booty of theft. Like legit, I had a drawer that pulled out and I was just a rampage of thievery as a child. And nobody questioned it except for my parents were like, yeah, you definitely didn't buy that because you're 8. But my mom drove me all the way back to Tehachapi's Kmart. And when we got there, I just pretended like I was dead. I was just in the front seat, just like, I was hoping that she would just be like, Scott, oh no, he's dead. And then just drive home. Didn't really think that one through. But luckily I didn't get thrown into prison because the 60-cent stickers that I stole or whatever were not really as valuable as I had originally thought they were. But luckily I didn't get haunted.
Yeah, I feel like I should be honest. I did pilfer a couple things when I was young, but they were books.
Oh, that's not cool.
No.
Less cool. Remove some cool points from Christian. Just kidding. Stealing is wrong. Don't do it unless you want to steal this show and share it with your friends.
Yeah, I mean, stealing is only for the government.
And they do that very well, or right in front of your eyes and not very well at all, but it's fine. So anyway, if you've ever purchased anything that was haunted, or if you know anyone that has haunted items or something that just makes you feel off, comment it below, as well as where you're listening from. We love seeing where you guys are from, what's going on in the world of YouTube. Now let's get into this.
I feel like
story.
This is perfect because I walked into the house last night and my roommate's playing The Conjuring, one of the Conjuring movies. And so you got Annabelle, the haunted doll.
Nice. Beautiful. Anyway.
And the grifters, Ed and Lorraine.
Speaking, well,
Just joking. I don't know if they're grifters or not. They have good movies though.
The world is full of grifters, so there's really no way to tell. But there's definitely some holes in the Ed and Lorraine stories.
I was sure that the world was vampire.
Okay. And we're starting with the references early. Speaking of haunted dolls, this first story is called The Cursed Mannequin. And it's by the Iduki. Or Eduki.
I don't know.
I don't care.
Idukis?
Idukis. Sounds a lot funner than Eduki, so we're going to go with Iduki.
Does it sound fun, though?
Sounds hella fun. You're right. Anyway. One evening, I was walking home from work and noticed someone's belongings in their driveway. I stole them. No. On a bookshelf, read a sign saying something like, "Free to a good home." I enjoy sewing, and these people had left some antique sewing machines out, which intrigued me. Oh, yeah. As I was looking at them and wondering why the owner just didn't try to sell them, a man approached me and stated that he had noticed my interest in the sewing machines. He told me that their landlord had sold their house and that they only had a couple weeks before they had to move out. So they were giving their possessions away for free to get rid of them quickly and be ready for the move. I ended up chatting to his wife after him. She told me that she was a pagan. Oh, nothing wrong with that, right, Christian?
There's
it's fine.
Absolutely nothing wrong
Nothing
with being
can happen
pagan.
with that. It's just a different form of religion, and that's fine.
I mean, the only time something happens is
if they curse a mannequin, as we may see in the future.
If a Christian comes along and says, "Oh, witches,
well,
Satan,"
I'll let you guys decide
that's
that
not
one.
truly the way paganism works. But okay, Christians.
Christian doesn't really know how pagan is. I forgot that you can hear this because it's a microphone. Never mind. I'm going to put the book back down. Yeah, Christian doesn't fully understand the way that works because he doesn't have his mind's eye open or whatever. Who
Because
fucking
he's
cares?
not afraid of pagans.
Ooh, I'm not afraid of pagans either. Do not shrink me, gypsy. No, it's fine. That's Borat. Anyway, she told me that she was a pagan and that she liked sewing. We talked sewing for a while, and the next thing I know, I am being given a tailor's mannequin, a vintage hotel busboy style outfit, and 2 antique sewing machines.
Interesting.
That's quite the score, though, honestly. Pagan or otherwise.
How do you just meet somebody on the street and all of a sudden find out they're pagan?
Some people have that where they're able to talk to people and they just openly share all kinds of information.
I guess so. I guess you're right. I know a lot of working at the store. I know a lot of information that would be surprising sometimes.
Well, there you go. They were bundled into the man's car and then were taken around the corner to my house. My mom wasn't happy with the situation. The sewing machines ended up in the attic, then were taken to a charity shop. The busboy outfit went out in the rubbish, hella British, and the mannequin was put in my bedroom. Not long after the mannequin had been given its new home in my bedroom, I noticed a terrible stench of stale urine and sulfur on several occasions.
Of course, sulfur.
I'm sure it's nothing. I'm sure it's fine, right?
I'm sure
It's a cat and
the
a
other
demon.
people had a cat.
A cat and a demon. Or they just like to fart on a mannequin all day, which is a weird choice. But I'm not here to judge, because if I judge, then suddenly I'm anti-pagan, which I kind of am. But do you? I honestly don't care. I don't care.
You're a paganist.
I'm a paganist. I guess what you could call me is someone who doesn't give a shit. All right?
Or
try that on for size.
Would it be a pagist? Or is that something different?
That sounds a lot worse. We're going to go with the first one.
Yeah.
Anyway, my room had no reason to smell like that, so the only thing that I could think of was that the most likely cause was the mannequin.
I was thinking puberty. Sometimes kids smell.
Okay, as it joined,
Like
just
I
as the
sniff them
smell
all the time.
Okay, as it joined, just as the smell had started, I then started getting bad feelings in my gut when going near the mannequin, and then the horrific nightmares began. I've never experienced nightmares that terrifying before. About 2 weeks later, I couldn't cope anymore, so I took the mannequin apart and put it in the bin. I stopped having the nightmares immediately, and the smell of stale urine and sulfur disappeared and have never returned. Ooh, what could that mean? That the mannequin was pissy and stinky, very stinky. And also the stinky gave you nightmares, which I'm sure there's no correlation between the two. I'm sure it's fine, and I'm sure it has nothing to do with pagan rituals and or sprinkling cat pee and farts on a mannequin, okay? Now your turn. Now you give your thoughts, Christian.
I was okay with you saying there might have been a cat involved because that sounds like cats.
Oh, but farts are completely unnatural? Is that where you're going?
On a mannequin,
Is this why we don't have a lot more? Is it the farts? It's fine. Guys, whatever. Who cares, you know?
I didn't realize when we started recording you were just going to
Say farts
A
constantly.
lot.
Well, you keep making me because you keep like stopping right before the word farts, and then I have to say it. Be like, okay, I know what you're saying. No, no more. It's done. The sulfur could be rotten eggs as well. But what do they? What do those smell like? It's fine.
Maybe it's not a sulfur smell. Maybe that part is more imagined after smelling the other
What do you mean?
smell.
I'm mad. How are you gonna pick and choose what was real in that story?
How are you going to find something with a sulfur smell like that? There's not.
Have you? Okay.
I don't have anything that has ever smelled like sulfur.
Have you smelled sulfur?
I mean, that's old school matches, right?
Sure.
I don't know, man.
I don't know, man, either. I was trying to trap you, but it's fine. You got out of that one.
Obviously, I don't smell sulfur because the demons don't infest me.
Well, if they're already inside you, then you wouldn't smell it unless you cut yourself open. But that's not what we're here for. So, yeah. So, I mean, I don't actually know the sulfur demon link. Like, I know it's been talked about. Like, I've never been around a demon, and I've never been around someone that smelled like sulfur and or a demon. So I can't say for sure that that's what happens. But I know one of the lore, one of the main things is the smell of sulfur or rotten eggs or whatever.
I think that whole part of the demons and devils, it comes from like the Middle Ages where everything was like
Everything smelled like that. So
everything.
everyone was
Well,
possessed.
everything did, but
Yeah.
everything was demons and the Satan back then. I mean, it still is in certain religions, but
It still is all over the world if you open your eyes. But it's fine.
it's not. Satan doesn't exist.
Sure. What's the correlation between getting this mannequin, suddenly putting it up in your room, suddenly noticing that it smells like pee and sulfur?
What if it's something simpler? Like you've heard about the Mad Hatter.
Sure.
And what makes the Hatters go mad, right? It's a chemical that they work with all the time when they're making hats. So they go crazy after a while. Maybe it's something like that. Maybe the person that
The Matt Taylor.
Well, the person that owned the mannequin was using some kind of similar things for whatever, I don't know about sewing. I don't truly know about making hats. I don't even wear hats, but
Well, someone that does wear hats, Christian, let me learn you something.
maybe whatever they were using in their stitching practice, they, it's just left a chemical smell on the mannequin, and that could
Cause nightmares.
maybe there was enough on there to where this person was extra sensitive. Maybe this person just happened to remember their nightmares.
And you think it's just coincidence that this mannequin was received from pagans who probably performed, and then more power to you, their pagan rituals for their religion, for whatever they do, sacrifice goats or whatever it is.
That is not how it works.
Well, as someone that is not pagan, I don't know how it works. You do you, as I mentioned previously. But what I'm saying is if there is just, hey, don't at me, but if there's something wrong with pagan rituals or there's something that latches on or evil or just something sinister, they're doing this stuff while they're working on suits and busboy costumes or whatever. Give the mannequin away. Maybe something latched onto the mannequin. It looks like a human. Maybe the spirit was confused and was like, what's this faceless man doing here? My body now. You know?
Also a great 1980s movie, Mannequin.
Okay.
If you're into those kind of Brat Pack or type movies from
The
the
Rat
80s.
Pack.
No, the Brat Pack.
Frank Sinatra.
No, we're talking the 80s.
Oh.
Brat Pack.
Okay.
That's like Rob Lowe and
Frank Sinatra.
no.
Hmm. Two different.
Everybody else, Molly Ringwald and all the other.
Sure. Yeah.
Emilio Estevez. I don't know if he fits in there just because he was in that one movie with everybody else.
Yes.
But either way, first off, pagans aren't evil. Pagans were made evil by the church.
Evil Christians. Ooh, that's what they do. No,
I wouldn't say evil Christians. I would
Oh.
say a certain group of people that were trying to pull pagans into the church back in the day. So they made it seem like the native religion of wherever they conquered or wherever they were trying to convert
Conquered. Beautiful.
were all satanic because it was a different religion. So they called it pagan to distinguish it from Christianity, which was in a lot of cases
the Lord's work. Yes, you're right.
or the king's work, because the kings were pushing it along with the Vatican.
Have you considered just once that maybe Christianity was the right move and that pagans were actually performing things to deities that were not the supreme Lord and Savior?
I actually believe all religions are the right move, especially the ancient ones or the old ones.
I'm sniffing a hint of New Age bullshit here, but it's fine.
But I just think they're all like, how could we just have one that is absolutely right, especially for people that aren't exposed to it? Either way, that's a different podcast, and we don't have a religious podcast. But either way,
Yet.
Don't believe Scott on pagans. He's wrong.
Don't believe Christian. He's wrong on everything.
And the mannequin may have been haunted with something or possessed by something, if that's the way the lore goes. The devil doesn't have time for us mere.
You don't know that. Maybe he's got a day off.
We're just simple.
Like, I'm going to haunt this mannequin.
We're simple nobodies.
Okay.
If the devil was real, they'd go after people that actually could change the world and influence it in bad ways. And I don't see any of that happening in this world. I don't know what the hell you're talking about.
We'll be right back after these short messages. And to break up this conversation and get back to the spooky ghost stories, we received word from our producer, Eric, and he said to tighten it up. He said, hey, tighten that shit up, all right? And we said, all right, Eric, sorry, damn. And so, yeah, we're going to get into the second story, which we usually do before the commercial break, but Christian wanted to defend pagans for the entire time. And, well, you know me.
Afraid of pagans.
There's no fear involved in that. It's just trying to bring the light, as I do.
You don't even know what a pagan is.
I know it's not me. Anyway, speaking of shit that you shouldn't get involved with, let's get into the second story called Haunted Tarot Cards. Ooh, another one that's going to push this episode 40 minutes out. Isn't that fun?
Nice. I have tarot cards.
I know you do. And that's why the devil is with you at all times.
Could be because I have a sinister set of tarot cards.
As opposed to the wholesome ones that you find?
Yeah. That's exactly it.
I saw a Ouija board at Target yesterday on one of the end caps, and I just about screamed.
You didn't want to buy it?
I just about went, no, Target, not you too.
It's called capitalism.
It's called the toy aisle, and it shouldn't be in a toy aisle. It's not for children. Anyway, Haunted Tarot Cards by Katie Lynn. And Katie is spelled with a Q-U-A.
That way it was going to be, and you were going to say Katie Lang.
I was not.
For those that know, they know.
Okay. I imagine that's your friend.
No, it's a singer.
Okay. And we're back with the spooky ghost nonsense. My uncle bought me tarot cards for Christmas when I was 13. He's the worst, and I hate him because he buys horrible gifts. Just kidding. That's not what she said. I put that in there, if you couldn't tell. Biased. I was obsessed with the occult, quote unquote. Read as cheesy ghost hunting shows and Supernatural.
The show Supernatural?
Yeah, the show Supernatural.
Were you on a Supernatural page? Because you've had
apparently, like we've had 2 in the last, couple episodes.
Yeah, which I know you like, Supernatural.
I do, yeah. I did. It got kind of cheesy at times, but that's Jared Padalecki and his cheesy-ass acting.
Well, also, though, when you have a series that lasts that long.
15 years is a long time.
It does get cheesy after a while.
Mm-hmm. So anyway, he bought them in Salem, Massachusetts, and the figures on the cards were made to look like cats. Which sounds cute, but those things were fucking terrifying. Everyone I ended up doing a reading for, often over silly shit, had their, quote, fortunes come true. Then the nightmares started. I'm sure it's nothing. I'm sure it's fine.
It isn't.
I've always had strange dreams, but these were next level. I would have dreams about my house being haunted by a dark entity every night. I saw a shadow figure and started hearing odd noises. For reference, I lived in a cookie-cutter prefab house built in 97, and my family was the second family to ever own the house.
The first family died.
Of course, as is tradition. With time, up until that point, I'd always felt safe and had never seen dark figures or had heard odd, unexplainable noises. It all culminated with a vivid nightmare about a faceless, dark entity possessing my entire family. The next morning, I donated the cards to Goodwill. Okay. After that, everything stopped. My house, specifically my room, felt physically lighter, on a hokey note. Maybe it was all in my head, but I didn't, and don't, plan on testing that theory. Yes, of course, I'm sure it's a coincidence. You're using something for the dark arts and new agey bullshit again. and dark faceless entities are haunting your nightmares at the same time. Let's put 2 and 2 together, and we got 4. All right, that's called common math.
Oh, I thought you were going to do Terrence Howard math.
Yeah, no, let's put 1 and 1 together, and you got 2. All right, that's fine. We'll talk more on that later. We're not going to get sidetracked with Terrence Howard stuff, but I'm sure you just think it's a random coincidence, right? I never felt weird in my room, no, but then I got these tarot cards, and everyone I did readings for had their fortunes come true. They had evil entities on them. I was haunted by nightmares of evil entities, one with a faceless entity that possessed my entire family. And once I gave the cards away to Goodwill, weird choice, everything felt lighter.
I am not going to say it's a coincidence.
You're going to say it was in your head.
I am going to say that unlike Ouija boards with quote marks around it, tarot cards do not manifest evil. If all of a sudden this person got these things and started experiencing, feeling, seeing, being afraid of little cats holding, cups, golden cups, or staffs or swords, is all of a sudden going to frighten you. Maybe it is in your head. Maybe that's a part of it, because that is part of the process of tarot cards. It's more in your head. It isn't a magical thing. It isn't a black magic thing. I'm sure some people that wear a lot of black might and hang out together and drink absinthe might try to convince you it's evil or that this is their darkness. But it's more of a mental thing. Even reading tarot cards is more of a mental, like going to a psychologist, from my understanding, if it's done right. It's not, this is what's going to happen. What does this mean to you? What is this picture? What does this reading mean to you? It's not actually pulling from the dark realms of hell to get this information. That's just what's been told to you.
Not told to me.
This is a sheeple thing when you're afraid of Ouija boards.
Oh, goodness. You hear
cards.
That? I'm one of the sheeple. My entire life, I thought I was fighting the sheeple, but here we are.
That's the people that fight the hardest against the sheeple tend to be sheeple.
What's the point of tarot cards? It's a fortune-telling thing, right?
We don't know what the point
of tarot cards is. No, we do. People that read tarot cards know what the point of tarot cards is.
We don't know what the point of tarot cards is because we don't even understand where they came from and what they were used for in the beginning.
I can tell you where they came from.
Some people thought it was just a parlor trick. Some people thought this is how secret societies passed information in a place where you were persecuted for being either a Catholic or a Protestant.
Sure. Yeah, there's lots of lore out there about them,
but none of it. We can't tell what lore is true or not.
But this day and age, if you go to someone that reads tarot cards, what are you looking for?
It depends.
No, it doesn't. I mean, there's one reason you go to someone.
I'm sure people want to know the future, but we all know the future is unknowable.
No,
all you can do is kind of direct yourself in the direction of the future. Face the future. Unlike that movie from the X-Files, Fight the Future.
Okay. Yeah. All I'm saying is everything that you mentioned there
is wrong in a Christian view.
Not just in a Christian view, it's just wrong in general.
Is wrong in a scaredy cat view.
Yeah, no, that as well. I think that you're going to, and people that read tarot cards aren't thinking I'm doing something evil and sinister. But if you're connecting,
Christians don't believe they're doing evil things either, and some of them do.
There's a great deal. There's passages that say that few will enter the gates of heaven. Because there's so many false preachings out there, so many people doing horrible shit in the name of Christianity. So that I believe 100%, I'm with you. But what I'm saying is, like, even if you don't fully understand that what you're doing is connecting with spirits or entities that you're not supposed to be talking to, and they could give you information.
They don't.
They do.
Not from tarot cards.
There's tons of time. We have people that have gone to seen psychics with tarot cards, all that shit, visions. Everything, man. Like, there's plenty of stuff that is out there that you can get information from, but you're dipping your toe into a pool of very dark and horrible choices.
That's how they get you. That's how they get you to church on Sunday.
Well, no, I don't go to church on Sunday, and I know this very basic information. Yeah,
but that's the whole point of this stuff. Same when you were earlier or last episode. I don't remember when we were talking. Was it this episode we were talking pagans?
Yeah. Because it took 20 minutes to get to the point.
Okay. Yeah. So It's just a fear thing.
Hmm.
It's tarot cards are pieces of paper with pictures that might help you understand your mental life a little bit better. Or you can use it to scare people, and it does scare a lot of people because that's what they were taught. There's no truth to it.
Okay, first
tell
of
us
all,
stories if you believe it's true. I mean, tell us your scary stories.
Give
Prove
your
me
thoughts
wrong.
on tarot cards and all. And I'm sure like there's plenty of people on YouTube to watch. They're like, oh, Christian's right, they're useless. But check this out. Number one, if you don't believe in anything, you shouldn't, first of all, be giving information about things that have spiritual value or spiritual, that type of effect on people because you don't believe in anything. So therefore, your opinion doesn't actually mean anything because you haven't looked into stuff from an actual spiritual perspective. You just think it's a piece of paper. You think it's just a board that people subconsciously move around with their hands. But in reality, you're floating in the wind, man. You don't got a compass to point you in any which way. You're just like, it is what it is, On the other hand, someone that has looked into this shit my entire life, and not just someone who's heard my mom say, oh, don't play with Ouija boards. And I'm like, okay, mommy, I guess they're horrible. No, I've looked into this shit enough to know and read enough stories that there is something on the other side of that. And if you want to play with it, help yourself. All right. But don't go around saying it's useless and pointless and nothing happens, because in reality, there's more stories of shit happening than not.
They're stories. There's no proof.
Okay, well, the entire world is made up of stories with no proof.
Some video or pictures of tarot cards. I want to see demons laughing at us from the cards.
Okay.
Without AI or all those fake videos that we see all the time about UFOs.
No, you can't put indicators on the end of that. You said take pictures and make it happen. So it's going to happen now.
Make it happen. Okay, that's it. That will be entertaining, but I'm sorry.
I know, it's fine to believe.
There's not a bunch of demons getting us out to get us mere humans that are... It's funny how we're kind of self-centered as a species, and we think there's always these evil entities or evil people, or people are out to get us, or we think people are thinking bad thoughts about us when they're worried about their children and their family. They aren't even giving us a second thought. We're very egotistical, and maybe that's
some of us are very egotistical. Yes, some of us are just trying to help others, if you know what I'm saying. But let's get in this last story, because remember when I told you this is going to be a very short episode? It turned into a much longer episode. Ain't that some shit?
I mean,
ain't that some shit?
Somebody's got to stick up for the persecuted people. These people,
the persecuted people are Christians, for the record. just for the record. Like, if you look around the world, you talk shit about Allah, canceled. You talk shit about Buddha, canceled. You talk shit about Krishna, canceled. You talk shit about Jesus, just another day in the office, folks. And
you got to remember, we live in a society where we shouldn't be killing people for their religious views. Some societies aren't like that. Some sects of people.
Everyone that I just mentioned is like that. They kill people. And because their book says so.
Maybe we've gotten a little bit past our killing people stage. I don't know. It's coming back. I mean, you can see it already.
Again, I said most Christians, or a big sect of Christians, horrible people.
Although any group of people, it's just a small group of people that are doing the killing.
Sure.
But they sometimes, like Christians, have killed a lot of people.
I'm just saying, you can make fun of Christians with zero repercussions. And that is also talked about in the good book.
As it should. Yeah. There should be no repercussions for whatever religion you want to be.
You so much as put a picture of Allah out there, or Muhammad, or whatever.
That's just a different belief. It's
that people squawk the loudest, and then people are like, oh, we got to protect their rights. But someone says, I believe in Jesus, and they're like, well, look at that idiot.
All right. First off, I'm going to need you to clip out a couple of these parts, because I don't want to look over my shoulder. But it's just...
Exactly. That's what I'm saying, dude. That's what I'm saying. Because I said Muhammad, because I said Allah, suddenly I'm the bad guy, cancel Scott. But it's so much as you could be like, you could make jokes about Jesus being crucified. You can use his name as a swear word. Do whatever you want. Zero repercussions. Look into that. Think about it. Figure out why that happens. Maybe there's some truth to it. I just want to read a story about a red Camaro. I'm not here to preach. I'm not here to tell people that Jesus is the way, even though he is. You figure that out on your own.
Oh, my gosh.
You figure that out on your own, Christian. Good grief. Holy crap. Holy shit. This is a story about a fucking red Camaro. I just want to read it.
Triggered.
I'm going to read it and I'm going to close this out because it is way too long and I don't want to edit 40 minutes of it. It's fine.
Just clip out the whole part we were just doing. I think that's useless.
Christian's scared.
I'm not scared.
I'm
I just.
Oh, suddenly Christian's scared.
I cannot believe that.
No matter where you go, you're proving my point with this.
I can't believe tarot cards has brought us to this.
This started with the pagan thing at the beginning, and now it's just followed us through the entire episode.
Another toy you can buy at Walmart.
And you shouldn't. Let that be a lesson to you, friend, all right? Anyway.
The history is interesting.
Hey, you guys done talking about religion? You want to talk about a haunted car?
Christine?
Actually, you are very, very close. Within the first sentence of this, I will get going. This is by Undead Gorgeous, and it's called The Cursed Red Camaro. It says, my mom had a red Camaro, and in parentheses it says, yes, Christine jokes were made. That was literally cursed. Someone crossed 3 lanes of traffic and hit her while she was driving. She fixes it. Someone else driving the wrong way down a one-way street hits her dead on. She gets it fixed again. Her sister borrows it, parks it outside a 7-Eleven, and a garbage truck backs into it, smashing the whole back end. She gets it fixed a 3rd time. Mind you, this is the 3rd time in 6 months.
What kind of this must have been a fancy Camaro. Just give up on it.
Yeah. At what point is it completely totaled?
Was
You're
it
like, well, I've spent more money on this than it's worth at this point.
It might be worth.
Well, it actually doesn't say the year, but
if it was like a '69 Camaro, it might be worth fixing a lot. But other than that,
you gotta hope your insurance is pretty fucking nice with that shit, though. Anyway, this is the 3rd time in 6 months. Driving it home from the shop, someone runs a red light and smashes into the side of it. She gives up and sells it to a friend. The friend takes it into a car wash. The car wash malfunctions and the whole front end gets crushed, partially impaled by a piece of machinery. Friend wins a lawsuit and scraps the car, ending the cycle.
Okay, I can't argue with that one. That car is definitely cursed.
Yeah. There's plenty of haunted car and cursed car stories out there that are wild, where you're like, I want to believe it's a coincidence or just incredibly bad luck. But how does a car get haunted unless someone's like murdering it? I've never understood the haunted car bit.
Somebody was probably, when they built the car,
cursing it. They're like,
no, sometimes, at the end of a long day's work, you just go sit in one of the cars you put together that day with a Ouija board and tarot cards.
What else are you going to do?
And all of a sudden your car's cursed. And Stephen King writes a story about it. Now everybody that has bad luck or can't drive or park considers their car cursed. When again, maybe they should take responsibility for the actions that caused that car to keep getting run into. Yeah.
They really do be like that. So out of those 3, which of these stories was your favorite? Christian, do you remember the other 2?
The one I believe in is the cursed car. Because there's evidence there's something up, but it might not be the car that was cursed. It could just be all the people that were driving it.
That seems like more of a stretch than it being the car, though. Like having 3 or 4 separate people have weird things happen because someone borrowed it. It was the mom's sister borrowed it, ended up giving it to a friend or a sister. Happen again. Like, so that's at least 3 people. But yeah, that is an interesting story. I don't have a favorite. What about you guys, huh? What was your favorite tangent of the episode? And I know you worry about people. Actually, I kind of worry about it too. Like when we have like weird religious debates and shit like that, the people are just gonna be like, man, fuck this show and get out of there. And I'm sure a lot of people do, but at the same time, no matter what side, both sides are being presented. So people that don't like religion and are against it would side with what you're saying. And people that do like religion would side with, well, actually, I'm like the weird. A lot of people don't even follow what I say, but it's fine.
I would be somewhat okay with what you're saying, but I don't dislike religion. I think it is part of the human experience. It's part of how we're built. So you can't take that out. You just got to find a healthier way of practicing whatever religion you're practicing.
Sure. By all means, whatever that means. Do you. Again, like I said, I'm not here to answer any of your questions. Okay. I'm here to read spooky ghost stories.
I'll answer all your questions with my tarot cards that I never use. See, I have them, but I don't know how to use them. I don't even remember why I got them.
Well, because you don't have
a demon
a
told
spirit.
Me to get them.
Yeah, a spirit didn't latch onto you and give you someone's fortune, obviously.
I wouldn't read it for fortune.
Well, guys, you comment below your thoughts on whatever the fuck this just was, And
if you want to see freaky deaky tarot readings, maybe I'll learn.
And maybe Christian can do that somewhere that is not my home.
I ain't scared.
Yeah, because it's not your home. Obviously, you bring some, it's fine, whatever, folks. Oh, God. Hey, hello, folks.
Animated.
Folks, remember to sleep with the lights on because you never, actually, before you do that,
check out other shit.
Yeah, there's other stuff. Go check out the podcast. It drops every Thursday. Follow us on social media at Freaky Deaky Pod. And subscribe if you like whatever the hell this just was. And if you don't, then hey, hit the bricks. Who gives a shit? All right. We'll see you next time. And remember to sleep with the lights on because you never know what evil, dirty spirits are lurking in the shadows.
The tarot card
With
spirits.
the tarot cards and the Ouija boards.
Be scared.